are given this opportunity to stay at home, and we don't have much work except to stay at home and do some work from home. And we have a lot of time, and we are using it really very, very productively and creatively. And like meditation practice, and also reading spiritual books or watching some spiritual movies, some interesting movies, and even some kind of playing chess game, all that. It's really, we are spending our times really beautifully. So we are doing this Inner Journeys series, and so far we completed 5 episodes, and today is the sixth episode. Through these inner journeys, we are experiencing certain things from our own consciousness and the soul, and we are learning. We're constantly learning and progressing. And today the topic is know thyself as an energy being, a consciousness being, know thyself as a wise being. In nutshell, I can say know thyself as ECW. That means know thyself as energy, consciousness, wisdom. So, dear friends, this is something very, very important for all of us as a human species to know, because so far we lived so unconsciously, mechanically. We thought that we are just mechanical beings, we are like machines, we are just physical beings, and our perceptions in our head also, we have made such kinds of thought forms and perceptions. We think that we are only physical beings, we are just like biological machines, like we are programmed to do certain tasks, and we are conditioned, and also we are domesticated, just like we domesticate animals. As human beings, we also formed certain stereotypic, routine, habitual kinds of behaviors and thinking patterns, and we have become more and more like machines. As human species, we also, after the industrial revolution that happened, we had such an amazing intelligence. Every revolution brought explosion of our consciousness, expansion in our states of consciousness, definitely. But after industrial revolution, we started become more like machines. And from that time, we started spending more time in factories, in the industries that we have set up. And most of the children, they hardly see their parents because parents are working in the offices, in the industries, and the more mechanical we have become. And children watching this, they also adopted the same model. We are continuing the similar kind of mechanical life. We were programmed, we were brainwashed, we developed a kind of stereotypic habitual pattern of thinking that our life is meant to live like this only. We're supposed to get up and eat breakfast, go to office, and come back from office, sleep. And this mechanical life has taken away something very, very beautiful in us, the creativity part of us. It is undermined. It has really gone into dormancy. There is a creative intelligence in a human being. We want everything to be predictable. Everything we want, like a machine, it has a prediction. This machine works like this, and it is supposed to work like in this fashion. If there is any deviation, that means we have to correct the machine. We have tried to make our lives so predictable. Anything unpredictable happening, it immediately blows us. It is a heavy blow on us. We are shaken from the roots. It really shocks us whenever there is something uncertain or unpredictable things happen to us. Right now, on this planet Earth, what we are witnessing is really least expected, unexpected, unpredictable coronavirus, COVID-19, which has really uh, is unpredictable. As human species, we're all gearing up ourselves to deal with it, to uh, you know, overcome all the limitations created by this virus. It's really at a massive scale, it's affecting us. So, friends, as an intelligent human race, human species, how we can approach towards this situation that is in front of us right now. So, I'm going to share with you through certain images, certain thought forms that I'm going to share will create certain images, inner images for you. Through that, we can understand in a better way what is happening and how we can really deal with it. I liked one quotation, one saying from uh, the book authored by Richard Bach. He has authored several books. One of the books, Illusions, he said, argue for your limitations, sure enough they are yours. We are limiting ourselves through our thoughts, our inner perceptions. So most of the times we think that we are just physical beings. We treat our body as just like a machine. We think our mind is just like a machine. It's like a computer and it's working well or not, and we consider that way. Even our heart with stores certain emotions and our personality structure, we consider everything as a kind of machine. We are limiting ourselves through our own thoughts. But we are not what we think we are. We must know this, dear friends. We think that we are mortal beings, lesser beings, limited beings, and whatnot, emotional beings, thinking beings, mechanical beings. One day we die, and that's all. That's the end of the story. We feel so fearful about any kind of things that's happening around us, like which are unpredictable, uncertain. So this is the scenario on the planet Earth. Majority of the population, they are living a life of a mechanic machine. This is not just my words, dear friends. I borrowed these words from George Ivanovich Gurdjieff, G.I. Gurdjieff, a Russian mystic master who said, man is a machine. He is programmed and he lives his entire life like a machine, unaware and unconscious. And whatever he thinks that he is not that. Our thinking process changes every moment. We think today, I'm a good person. And the very next moment, you see a different subpersonality of you saying that you are not a good person, not a nice person. You feel a certain guilt in you. You try to define yourself in a very limited ways using your five sensory operators, five senses, and this mind. We are coming to very limited definitions of this self. So we heard from India there are many mystic masters, such wise, enlightened beings from India, and there are many such masters around the globe also. But India is always there are plenty, abundant rishis, yogis, mystic masters. Ramana Maharshi, we must remember, at a very younger age, he woke up one day. He woke up from his deep slumber, just like how mankind is sleeping in the unconsciousness, leading a mechanical life. And Ramana Maharshi, at a very younger age, he had a wake up call. And with that wake up call, he woke up from his deep slumber. One situation that happened in his life changed his entire life. So, Ramana Maharshi witnessed the death process of his own uncle. He met the uncle just one day before, and the next day he saw the uncle who is dead. His body was kept on the floor, and he tried to understand what this death means. Why? What happened to this uncle? He was speaking, he was respiring, his hearts were beating before. What happened to him? He is no more there. What has escaped from his body? This young mind, Ramana, young Ramana, had several questions in his mind. And that evening, when he came back to home, he tried to mimic the death process, just like what his uncle was kept on the floor like a dead body. He was like lying down on the floor like a corpse, like a dead body. He tried to understand the death. That moment, he had a most amazing mystical experience. He was outside the body. An energy body was floating free from his dense, gross physical body, and he could witness his physical body, which is on the floor. And that moment, he had very powerful realizations. For 3 hours, he was shaken because of the realizations that he was receiving. Whatever the knowledge that the greater knowledge, greater wisdom that liberates a human being, the knowledge that sets us free from the suffering. Ramana received that knowledge that day. He understood that this consciousness is eternal, immortal, deathless. And the very next day, he could not go to school. What he can study anymore from conventional school. He was not interested anymore about learning English or mathematics or physics or computer sciences or nothing. He was interested more to know about what is this creation, what is the mystery of death, mystery of the soul, and what is the nature of formation of events on the planet Earth. He wants to know more. With that quest, he left the home, even though it was difficult because his mother was very much bonded to him, very much close to Ramana Maharshi, and mother will not allow young Ramana to leave the home. So he left home when everyone was sleeping in the middle of the night in his quest to know the greater answers. And he reached Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, the place Tiruvannamalai. There is a mountain, Arunachala. This is called Arunachala, a huge sacred mountain. It's a beautiful uh, place, a power spot where Ramana was drawn towards it, and he first reached to a temple where he meditated inside the temple. It's the name of the temple is called Virupaksha temple. He did 12 years of sadhana, intense practice. He had multiple experiences, multiple realizations of his true nature of the soul. Really, he came to know about himself. After 12 years, there was one saint, Sheshadri Swamiji, who saw this young boy meditating so intensely. He thought his intuition was saying to him that this young man now has a message for the world. His life should not be just being spent in only in deep meditation for whole life. There's something that world needs to learn from this young man who realized himself because there's a glow around him. Even though the snakes crawling in on his body, there was no body awareness during meditation for young Ramana. And also the scorpions biting him, and there were insects eating his flesh in certain parts of the body. There were wound. And Seshadri Swamiji brought young Ramana from that Virupaksha cave, that cave inside the temple. He brought him out, and after a few days, he was brought into conscious awareness. And the whole world is drawn towards Ramana Maharshi. His message to the world is know thyself, self discovery, non yar. Whoever comes to Ramana, Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, whoever realizes himself, realizes that he is God, they're known as God realized souls. So, such people, mystics, are called as Bhagavan. So from that time, his name was Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. And he was in silence, in Mauna. Whoever comes and asks him any question, he only answers from his silence with few words. About self-inquiry. Know thyself, who you truly are. There is a false self that you are identified with. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your personality structure, which you think you are that, but you are much more than this. That's what Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi's message to the world. He made millions of people to go on this quest. He inspired. Even now, every year, millions of people visit Tiruvannamalai and this sacred place. They come to Ramana Maharshi ashram to meditate. So, dear friends, I have been there and I meditated in the caves where Ramana Maharshi was deeply absorbed into meditation. So beautiful vibrations because I am always curious to visit. I'm drawn towards such places where saints, rishis have meditated. I want to feel the vibrations of such higher beings who realize themselves. So I always consider Ramana Maharshi as someone who has reached to that beautiful self-realized, self-awakening, or God-realized states. So, dear friends, it is so strange that humans they are living without knowing about themselves, and they're living with all the false notions, all the misconceptions and false ideas about themselves and about their life. Most of the times, we don't know who we truly are. We try to have very limited perceptions, and with that, we try to live our life. And not knowing about who we are, it is making us go through a lot of suffering. Another master I want to mention here is about Lord Buddha, Gautama Siddhartha, who has reached to Buddhahood, who is an awakened one. He also woke up from his deep slumber. So he had the quest. His quest began when he saw suffering everywhere. People are not joyful. Everywhere they're suffering. He had this question in his mind when he was very young. But his father made sure that this young boy will not contemplate, reflect, and think about these questions about who am I, what is the purpose, and why there is suffering. He made young Siddhartha to become busy with his life. He made him to learn dance and always playing and learning process and all that. But he's always in the background. These questions were there. Why there is suffering? What is the cause for suffering? How can we eradicate suffering? How can we experience non-suffering state? So these were the questions of Buddha which made him to go on the quest to know himself. So finally, he has found the answers. Dear friends, do you know who you are? Do you know what you want to do in your life? If we do not know the answers for these two questions, definitely there is suffering in our life. Major part of our suffering is there because we don't know who we are and we do not know what we want to do in our life. We are doing exactly what we do not want in our life. Maybe like a machine, we are programmed for survival's sake, we are doing certain things, but it is not really our heart's desire, or it's not coming from our depths of our being. There's something that each one feels so resonating. We call that as the purpose of life. Broadly saying, purpose of life for all human beings is to know thyself. We have to know ourselves. Second is to create joy, joyful experiences in life. Apart from that, there are some kind of beautiful things which you want to really create in the physical life. There's a purpose for you, everyone, everyone. So, dear friends, when we are like machines, we do not really know that there is a beautiful, greater purpose for our existence. There is a creative intelligence in us. There's something that is more, uh, you know, essence, beautiful things in us to discover because we forget our deep essence. We live only in the outer persona or the mask or the ego or the mind or the body or the emotional stuff. So, dear friends, Buddha is our inspiration, Lord Krishna is our inspiration, Jesus Christ is our inspiration, Prophet Muhammad is our inspiration, and Guru Nanak Ji is our inspiration. So many masters, thousands of them around the globe are our inspiration. We must remember the quote from Socrates, this master, who said, know thyself as a divine spiritual being. We must know this self. So, you are not your body, you are much more than your body. You must really know that through your own practice of meditation. When we are with our closed eyes, sitting in a comfortable posture. And when we are observing our breathing, we witness the breathing first, and then we can witness our body. We understand that we are not the bodies. We are much more than the body because we are able to witness the body. And then we witness even these thoughts which are rising and falling. We also understand we are much more than these thoughts in your mind, much more than this mind. We also understand by witnessing our emotions, feelings, emotions rising and falling, we also understand that we are much more than our emotions and feelings. We also understand that we are not this kind of structured ego or personality or persona or mask that we are wearing. A mask of happiness, a mask of, you know, anger, a mask of denial, many masks we wear in survival mode because to survive in the world. It's okay to have these masks. They are also make us really live our life. Uh, it is protecting us. It's not like it's bad. These masks also helping us. But how long we only live in the outer personality structure? How long we live only as a persona or a mask, missing our deep essence inside us? I remember at this point of time the words of Jalaluddin Rumi, the Sufi mystic master poet. He said, how often do you visit yourself? How often do you meet yourself? What a profound words Sufi master is saying. How often do you have an appointment with yourself? We give appointments to all the others. You meet many people, but are you meeting your real self, the essence in you? I'll give you the analogy for this essence and the personality. If you take a perfume bottle and the bottle and the essence that is inside the bottle, the essence called perfume, it's totally different. The bottle might be so beautiful, it might be round, it might be very well creatively designed perfume bottle, and the personality is so nice. But inside the bottle, the essence is so important. Most of the times when we go to these kinds of shops to buy some kind of perfumes, because we all love fragrances. I love beautiful fragrances. My favorite is sandal fragrance. And my another my very important is lotus fragrance of lotus flower. Very subtle, and it really makes me very alive. And when you do you only be absorbed by the perfume bottle, or you also ask the shopkeeper that I want to know what is inside? Can I also have a test fragrance? They'll make you actually have the aroma on a test strip. Then you know exactly what is the essence. So really, this personality is beautiful, definitely. But more than this beautiful personality, there's something else which is far more beautiful. That is called your divine essence. The entire effort of spirituality, soul science, is to know that divine essence in us. Know thyself as a divine, spiritual, multi-dimensional being. Know thyself as a energy being. Know thyself as consciousness being. Know thyself as wisdom being, a wise being. So I remember at this point of time a movie that I watched. It's called Who Am I? The movie name is Who Am I? It was the actor was Jackie Chan. So he forgets about his name and everything because after he had a air crash because he was a soldier, he was fighting for his country, and in that fight there was an air disaster, and but he survives. But he had amnesia. It's a kind of temporary amnesia that happened. He keeps asking everyone, "Who am I? Who am I? What's my name?" And no one knew because he fallen in the enemy country, and enemies they pick up Jackie Chan and put him in the hospital. All the villagers give him all the medication. He survives from that accident, but he has no memory, the past memory about himself. He keeps asking nurses, doctors, and people, "Who am I?" They keep asking also, "What's your name? What is your address?" So I also ask you, dear friends, who are you? What is your address? We generally say, when we ask, "Who are you?" we tell about our name, but you're not your name. Can our name can explain our essence? Really, our names will not mostly explain our divine essence because there are people who had very fancy names, but the essence is not reflecting in the name. I met few people, like one of the names of a person is Anand, Anand, but inside he's always with so much sadness. There's so much inside sadness. The name is Ananda. His name is Anand, but inner essence, in his heart, is full of sadness. So whenever he says Anand is my name, there is no Ananda also is telling his name. Our name is not conveying our divine essence, my dear friends. So in Bharat Desh, we have almost, we say that 72,000 rivers we have, tributaries, so many tributaries, rivers. And every river has a name. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, and Krishna, Godavari, Kalyani to Kaveri, so many rivers, Mandakini, Gangotri, so many rivers, tributaries, small, small tributaries. But when all these rivers, Narmada, yes, yes, all these rivers reaching to the ocean, do they still carry the name? After Ganga river joins the ocean, if you ask the water now which merged into the ocean, which has joined the ocean, there's no more name. The Ganga river has disappeared into the ocean. Now, if you ask, "Who are you?" it says, "I am the ocean. I am the ocean of consciousness. I am the ocean of being. I am that unlimited being." The definition is changed. Initially, we are identified with the name, form, structure, emotion, thoughts, conditions, conditioned mind, all that. That's why spirituality is also called as deconditioning process. We unlearn what we have learned. That's what happens in meditation. All that unnecessary, unwanted stuff, we leave it. We only keep with us what is essential in us. Just like a sculptor who brought a big boulder, he started chiseling all that unnecessary scrap. He removes all that. Finally, what remains, what comes out is only the essence. Buddha, Krishna, Christ, Prophet, and Master is born from that a rock. A rock is becoming a Buddha now. Even we also chiseling ourselves. Meditation is self sculpting. It's like you're sitting in meditation. What you are not, you are dropping it. You're saying, Neti, Neti, I'm not this, I'm not the body. I'm much more than the body. You are also, of course, the body. You're much more than the body because you are having beautiful experiences with your body. But too much identification, thinking that we are only the body, it is a very limited perception. Thinking that we are only the mind, stuff in the mind, thoughts, dualistic thoughts, polarity thoughts, positive, negative, plus, minus, all thoughts, is very limiting to us. So we have to slowly in meditation unlearn what we have learned already. It's like neti neti process. I am not this. I am not this. I'm much more than this. I'm not the body. I'm much more than this. I'm not the mind. I'm much more than that. I'm not my emotions. I'm much more than that. I'm not my ego, which is getting triggered, thinking that I am inferior, I'm superior, I'm holier than others, I am sacred and spiritual being, others are lesser beings, and this and that, all those things. The ego, which carries the very limited perceptions, we are much more than that aham, much more than that ego. So, dear friends, it's so important for all of us to go within to know thyself, the real self, the essence self. So, consequences of limited perceptions is suffering. When we think that we are only the body or the mind or emotions, we are caught in the whirlpool of emotions and thoughts and duality and all that. So, whenever we are only identified ourselves with that limiting ideas and thoughts and beliefs and perceptions, we're going to suffer. Meditation, whenever we are meditating, we are becoming more than all these things. Suddenly, we are transported into an expansive state of consciousness because we are relaxing in that moment. We are also exploring, discovering, oh, I'm not the body because I'm able to witness. We go to the next level, next level, next level. We transcend all that limiting perceptions in us. So, our Atma Vijnana Shastra from Bharat Desh, soul science we call it as, the soul science is telling us know the real self. Know the real self. When there is real self means there is false self also. All the outer things are called as false self because anything which is changing, which is called as false. Anything which is remaining, permanent, eternal, unchanging principle, that's called real self. That's how in the Upanishads and Vedas and in Bharadesh, the scriptures, ancient scriptures, are talking about the soul, which is immortal, infinite, permanent, eternal, and vast and expansive. So they mentioned that remaining things like our body, mind, emotions, they're constantly changing. Your body is changing, you grow old, and your mind also is changing. In the morning, you are having very positive thoughts, and in the afternoon, you have the most stressful thoughts in your mind. You're changing, and your emotions also fluctuating all the time. And you try to figure out, try to fix your identity. Who am I really? Because you thought one day you're a happy person, but the next day you also understood that you're not so happy person. You're the most unhappy person. And we are changing our ideas about ourselves because we are identified with outer. So the unchanging principle, the observer, the consciousness, which is witness consciousness in us, which is watching, which is unchanging principle in us, which never changes. The soul science is saying that is the real self. That is the self which is more real, which is unchanging, it's permanent, without annihilation, without death. Because the body goes through death, mind thoughts, they also has a kind of span of life. The thoughts vanish after some time, emotions come and go, they rise and fall, but there is something which is deathless in you that we are here to discover. Our entire the path of spirituality is about knowing thyself as an immortal, divine, spiritual being. That truth liberates us. Christ said these words, the truth shall set you free. Free from suffering, ignorance, darkness, and the fear. The truth shall set us all free. So, illusion is clinging to the untruth, believing that it is the truth. Most of the times, what we see with our five limited perceptions, what we experience through limited senses, we think it is the most reality, it's the real. But there is a greater reality from that place, this lesser reality is springing from. There's much more vast, bigger reality which is called as spirit or the soul or the consciousness or the energy or the wisdom, which we generally do not know when we are in our ordinary states of consciousness. But during meditation, in deep states of consciousness, when we achieve a deep calmness, no thought, no mind state, we are in the realm of the soul. We are entering into that deeper place of essence in us. So, dear friends, today I want to share with you about the three important characteristics of God. This is what is mentioned in the ancient scriptures in India. They say the God has these three characteristics. God is omnipotent, God is omniscient, God is omnipresent. The three important words which were mentioned, not only I think in Bharat Desh. It's also mentioned in different spiritual traditions and different religious texts. It's mentioned the nature of the God, which has these three characteristics: omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. So, exactly, we have these three attributes, three characteristics in us. Today, I want to share with you, in correlation with these three words, three characteristics mentioned about the God, we also carry it in our soul because our soul is also God. Our spiritual scientists, soul scientists, deep mystic masters, realized souls, they all have described that this Atman is Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. This is one of the greatest utterances. It's called Mahavakya from the Upanishad. I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is God. Brahma is all pervading, Sarvantaryami, the God. This Atma, this self, is the God self. Or another great utterance, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Anando Brahma, Pragnanam Brahma, all these great utterances also conveying the similar message that this Atma, which is residing in us, is really the God being. We are searching God everywhere outside of us. Only the place we have forgotten to search is inside our own temple. This body is called as temple. Deho Devalaya means Deha. This body is called sacred temple. And the God is residing in this sacred temple. This Atma is Paramatma. This Atma is Brahma. That's what is the greater truth which meditators they realize during deep meditation states. So, dear friends, the first thing that we need to know thyself as an energy being. Know thyself as an energy being. You are a powerful energy being. You are an omnipotent being. We undervalue our own capacity and undervalue our power, divine power that we all have. To recapitulate the words of Richard Bach, argue for your limitations, sure enough, they are yours. You think that you are very limited being with less energy, and your reality also becomes that way. As is your thought, so is your reality. But when we are able to really touch to a deeper place within us, the essence, the soul, the consciousness, we realize that we are energy beings and we have inexhaustible energy. Energy can be downloaded from the universe. It's the universal energy which is already there everywhere. And also, you have what is called as seed energy, primordial energy, Kundalini Shakti in the Muladhara chakra, in the root chakra. It all exists in all of us. Each one of us has this huge energy, which is like in the seed form. It is in a potential form. In the right conditions, this energy going to be awakened. What is the right condition? How the seed is going to germinate and become a huge tree. We have to find a right place, right ambience, right climate, right atmospheric conditions for the seed. We sow it in the land, a fertile land. And We nurture the seed with water, sunrise, sunshine, and also nice wind. Then soon, in days, few days, the seed germinates. And next few days, it becomes a plant. Next few weeks, months, years, becomes a tree. And then after decades, it becomes a huge tree. The same way, dear friends, we all are energy beings. There is a primordial energy that is untapped energy, which is sleeping serpent, and serpentine energy is called Kundalini Shakti, which is residing in the Mooladhara chakra. And remember, we are all called as Shiva beings. There are three Trinity beings from Bharat. We must remember these three gods, Trinity gods. One is Shiva, second is Vishnu, third one is Brahma. So the first one, Shiva, we are also carrying the Shiva Tattva in us. That means Shiva is always in meditation. When you always want to connect with Shiva, even the ancient Puranic stories from India, you find Shiva is always in Mount Kailash. He is absorbed into deep meditation. You will never find Shiva always with open eyes and looking at everything. He's always in his deep samadhi states. Whenever he wakes up, he does tandava, means he does the dances, Nataraja posture he takes. And he is known as Layakara. So, Shiva Tattva represents meditation. Shiva's consort, Shiva's wife, uh, Parvati Mata, who is also Kundalini Mata. Both together, they represent meditation. So, dear friends, meditation is a very primary way, most direct way to expand our energy levels. For example, right now, whenever we have less energy, we feel so tired. People with less energy, low energy levels, they feel sleepy, tired. They get a lot of diseases, illnesses. The energy is not flowing because less energy is there. They are succumbed, susceptible, vulnerable to every bacteria and virus. Immune system is compromised, it's very low. When the energy is really full, you're saturated with that energy. It's no more sleeping serpentine energy in the root chakra. It is awakened in meditation. It is moving upwards through your spinal cord and reaching its final destination point, top of the head, Sahasrara, the crown. Then you realize that you are an omnipotent being. For a meditator, there's nothing that is impossible. With this energy, everything becomes possible for a meditator, for a yogi, for a mystic master. Because there is called Icha Shakti, there is called Jnana Shakti, there is called Kriya Shakti. This Shakti, which is in the form of Sankalpa, Icha, one desire is coming in you. For example, right now, if you desire to uh, say open your third eye, for example, Icha Shakti. Your Icha Shakti works, your intention. You really focus now in deep meditation. Or you may say that I will meditate for 3 hours per day. So far, you are not able to do that. You are able to sit for 30 minutes and then you have distracting thoughts. Your mind is not really cooperating with you and you get distracted. You now use your Icha Shakti and then Kriya Shakti, put it into action. Kriya Shakti is everything in action, everything in action. That Shakti which is now a little bit of energy of the thought, Sankalpa Shakti, putting into action, Icha Shakti into Kriya Shakti, along with Gnana Shakti. Gyan Shakti is your knowledge, your wisdom. You know exactly the process. For example, how to meditate. For example, we take this theme of meditation. Our Icha Shakti says that I want to sincerely meditate, reach to higher levels of consciousness. And we use the Icha, the desire is formed. We intend, Sankalpa is formed, and then we put it into practice. We close our eyes. With that Shakti, which is now put into practice, you are very sincere to your practice and you give all the Shraddha, focus to your practice. You also strengthen your will. You have really unbending will, unbending intent. If our will is strengthened, we can do. Mostly, our will is not so strong. Our willpower is not so strong. We intend so many things, and it's not like a really unbending intent. It is not like a strong willpower that we have. We have to have the willpower like Swami Vivekananda. We have to have willpower like Paramahamsa Yogananda. So determined, so focused, that kind of will, Icha Shakti translates into Kriya Shakti and Gyan Shakti. So, friends, meditation is the most fundamental, primary, and the most excellent way to realize that you are an energy being. Dear friends, how many of you have really have experienced this in your meditation? Most of you, most of you, definitely in meditation. Some of us we might have heard only in books. We have this kind of Shakti, energy, and only in theoretical way. But really, if you want to know, yes, Suchi Goyal ji, Nandita ji, yes, through Sneha Agarwal, yes, you have realized that it is the Shakti, which is our primary nature, is the nature of our soul. We are omnipotent beings. There is a divine power, the power of this cosmic energy, power of our own Shakti inside. You are a Shakti Swarupini. Your inner nature is Shakti. You are a divine energy being. That's what is the very fundamental realization. That means to become a Shakti Swarupini, we have to turn ourselves into a meditator. If we sincerely meditate, definitely we realize that our energy nature. Shiva represents meditation. Parvati Mata represents meditation, dear friends. And next, our science has proven the energy nature. Quantum physics, take for example, quantum physics. It has experimented all the experiments like double slit experiment to understand the nature of the particles, subatomic particles. It has understood that yes, subatomic particles have wave nature, energy nature. It's not matter. Energy is greater truth. We are not just matter, we are the energy. Albert Einstein has done such amazing experiments, partly his own experiments and also partly his own intuitions. And he must be a mystic master, a genius. He discovered this formula E is equal to mc square. It is really a stunning discovery because after Albert Einstein, the whole world have completely shifted the perception of the whole world. We thought initially we are just matter, material beings. We are, our consciousness is birthed from the matter. But Albert Einstein shifted this completely with this revolutionary discovery. We are energy beings. We are consciousness beings. Our energy is translated into matter. Energy is forming into matter. So, dear friends, quantum physics proven experiments like nuclear fission experiments. We are able to go inside the atom and do the fusion and fission experiments and to understand the atomic energy. What a huge energy that exists, even smallest atoms, smallest molecules. It is the energy nature. If only one small atom contains that atomic energy which can explode our Mother Earth, how many atoms this body has? How many molecules that you contain? In each single cell, there's so many atoms and molecules. We might have such huge energy, dear friends. And our ancient rishis, uh, yogis have discovered without any scientific kind of material scientific explorations. They were not analysts. They were not left brain scientists, but they're right brain, intuitive beings, our rishis and yogis and mystics around the globe. In deep meditation, they realized all this. Almost, if you open the text from Mahabharata, Mahabhagavata, Ramayana, we realize there are so many slokas which convey about the true nature of our soul, like energy nature. We are Shakti Swarupini, our Rupa, Shakti Swarupa. We have energy nature. It was described very well in the ancient slokas, whether it is Vasishta Gita, Vasishta Ramayana, or Bhagavad Gita, all the ancient scriptures said about this. So, dear friends, there are different types of energies that we see in the material plane: the electrical energy, magnetic energy, electromagnetic energy, kinetic energy, and solar energy, wind energy, water which is flowing, which is converted into energy, coal energy. We all know that energy is, uh, neither can be destroyed nor can be created. It can change forms, that's all. Solar energy, we are able to tap into that and we are able to store and convert that into electrical energy now. The same way, a meditator also absorbs this cosmic energy and also this untapped energy, which is Kundalini energy, which can be converted into different purposes for different purposes, like a kinetic energy in you, which makes your muscles to move. It's also making your thoughts to rise, your intuitions to come, and so many functions it does in you. The energy can be transformed. It cannot be destroyed, cannot be created. It's already there. Only thing is, we are just realizing it. So, dear friends, in meditation, we experience high energy states. Sometimes we reach to intolerable high energy states. Many people they go into imbalanced states. High energy. They don't know what to do. At that point of time, you always give that energy to your body. Maybe your legs wants some energy, or else you want to give the energy to the plants. You can pass it on to the plants, or you can pass it on to the animals. All the animals, dogs, cats, donkeys, tigers, our dolphins, whales, fish, snakes, all of them, they really need a lot of energy on the planet Earth. So we just intend that energy to go to our Mother Nature, Mother Earth also. We must stay grounded Too much energy, it makes us to go into imbalanced states. Energy must be circulating inside the body. A meditator experiences this, a beautiful circulation. Like we have this energy which moves up, this Kundalini Shakti, and it also moves in a kind of circular fashion. This is called orbit, microcosmic orbit. Inside you, there is a beautiful circulation of this cosmic energy. And through the meridians, all those 12 meridians and 8 extra meridians that we all have, the energy circulating to all the organs in the body. Not only that, the energy is also reaching to your what is called as antakaranas, your mind, your subconscious mind, your buddhi, your ahankara. Everything requires energy. Energy makes you to go into action. So, dear friends, this is the first point I want to tell you. The second one is to realize that you are consciousness. Know thyself that you are a consciousness being. What does that mean? Means you are a vast, expansive being. You are omnipresent being. You are not localized being. Generally, we think that you are only like a parrot caged inside a cage. We also feel like a parrot which is caged inside this body. We always feel trapped inside this body. So limiting. But know that you are a vast, expansive, unlimited consciousness which has no boundaries. This is the higher truth. You are consciousness, divine consciousness. You are a Vishnumurti. This is the Sthitikara in the Trinity gods. Vishnu is considered as the one who is like a balancing factor, orchestrator, administrator. So Vishnu is all pervading consciousness. Vishnu, the consort, wife, Mata Lakshmi, Lakshmi Ma, both together represents this huge consciousness. And we also have that characteristic, like Vishnu and Lakshmi Ma, that we are also not limited. As above, so below. Microcosm is in macrocosm. Macrocosm is in microcosm. As above, so below. We must understand this, friends. So, you are a non local being. That means you are not localized only inside the body. Have you experienced in sometimes in meditation or in your dream, in your sleep, that you are expanding your huge mountainous being, much bigger than the body? Some of you might have experienced it. Many times we do get this experience in meditation. I used to get this very often whenever I meditate. My body feels it's like becoming huge, as if I am uh, bloating or I'm becoming bigger in size. Now, my body is not really becoming bigger in size, but it is a consciousness which is becoming huge and big, bigger than the body. We realize that we are that limitless, expansive consciousness. We are not only non local beings, we are non linear beings. We are not trapped by the time and space. We must know this is the truth. You are a non linear being, you are a non local being. I must at this point of time quote a book to you. This I must introduce you to this master. His name is called Paul Pearsall. Paul, Paul, like Saint Paul, Paul Pearsall. Pearsall. Paul Pearsall. He has written such an amazing book called Making Miracles. I think that's the name of the book, Making Miracles, Finding Meaning in Life's Chaos. He coined a beautiful word in that book. It's called miracle knots, like astronaut, miracle knots. Those who really live miraculously. Exactly, Pranav Kulkarni ji, that's the spelling. Paul Pearsall. He just typed it in the chat box in the YouTube. You can read Paul Pearsall. So, non-local, non-linear being state, he actually has experience. He coined this word called miracle knots. Miracle knots means we are all miraculous beings. We have forgotten. Our body is a miracle. Our body cell is a miracle. Huge, huge, so many miracles. And when you have this miraculous nature, you can live miraculously. And he has written in such a scientific perspective, like in the language of the scientist. And first time when I read almost 25 years back this book, probably 94, 95, 1995. And that point of time, the quantum physics, I never learned or read any book about quantum physics, but first time I came to know about it. He has mentioned that one of his beautiful experiences that he had bone cancer. It's terminally ill. He was almost like going through the metastasis stage. Metastasis means the cancer is spreading to other organs. That means it's the fourth stage, and where most of the times the prognosis is so bad. That's what doctors say. Medical dictionary, medical texts, they say that prognosis is bad. And when he heard this, and he want to, at least the fag end of his life, he want to live relaxedly. And he was living in uh, this place called Hawaiian Islands, Maui Islands, the old islands from Hawaiian Islands. So Miracle Knots is Miracle Knots, Nauts, like astronaut. If you write astronaut, the spelling Miracle Knots, not Knots, not that one. Okay, Krishna Chaitanya has typed wrongly, so it's not that spelling. Miracle not. If someone can type here, it will make others understand that. Miracle not. Miracle, Naut, like just like astronaut. Exactly, Lata Mahendra Garu, Miracle Knots. Yeah, exactly. Miracle Knots. Yes, exactly. Thank you. So, Paul Pierce lived in that islands, and there's something special about these Hawaiian islands. I had been there, and there was a live volcano, and he had observed interacting with the natives there, Hawaiian people there, who are very alive. He observed that why, what is the difference between people living in New York and advanced countries and technologically advanced countries who are very stressed out, living mechanical lives, but these people, Hawaiian Islands, people are full of life force. They are like really so much of life energy. They're dancing, singing, celebrating. It's so interesting to see. And Paul Pierce noticed that whenever there is chaos, whenever there is something like a big danger, you become very alive. Because the live volcano can erupt anytime. And anytime anything can happen. And when we are very close to the danger, you become very alive. When you live in a most predictable universe, there is no aliveness. We become mechanical. We wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, go to the office and do computer things, and again come back to home, sleep, eat, and same thing we do, repeat, and without any aliveness. There's no smile, no song, no dance, no celebration in life. And that's what he observed in Hawaiian Islands. And it's like a metaphor for him. He was also facing this illness, bone cancer, almost in the verge of dying, almost the death is waiting for him. That moment, something shifted in him. Something beautiful happened for him. He realized about we are speaking today about consciousness, which is non-linear and non-local. He realized that he is much more than the body. He realized that he is much more than the mind in his thoughts and emotions and feelings. And what happened after a few months or maybe a year, he really journaled all his experiences, and some of the experiences he has written in that book, Making Miracles, Finding Meaning in Life's Chaos. In that book, he has written about his miraculous recovery, the healing that happened. He healed his bone cancer. And I'm a doctor. First time I was hearing this, I did not believe. How is it possible? It's impossible. Our medical science says no. But always there is hope. Remember, dear friends, this limited mindset and limited thoughts, limited perceptions, and limited viewpoints, we think there is no hope. We don't see other possibilities. We don't believe that there is something that can also happen. My mind, I had to open my mind because I have been a sincere seeker always, a sincere, seeker of truth. Always I used to carry the skepticism, but as I met so many people like this, like Paul Pearsall, Dr. Bernie Siegel, who is a pulmonary oncologist, and Deepak Chopra, and all these masters who have really touched to a deeper levels of truth through their own meditations. It really also helped me. I got inspired. Through my own investigations, but through my own sadhana and practice, really it helped me a lot. So it's so nice, friends, to definitely please go through this book, Paul Pearsall. The name of the book, Making Miracles, Finding Meaning in Life's Chaos. Chaology, he said. Chaology. Chaos is a science of chaology, science of studying chaos. Whenever there is a chaos, there is a greater supernate order, the greater intelligence, which will be awakened, it seems. When we are in the verge of death, we suddenly become alive. We should not be just like machines, uh, like that, friends. But know that you are such vast beings. You are the Vishnu Murti. You have the Tattva, Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu Tattva is omnipresent, means you can be present not only inside the body but beyond the body in meditation. And Vishnumurti, he is called Mahamaya also, means he is the also dispeller of all the Maya. He is also the creator of many Mayas, many illusions. As we journey inwardly in meditation, we also dispel all these illusions so far we believed, we arrive at a deeper truth. Always believe in your own experience, not to believe blindly what others say or what textbook says. Always believe your own experience, dear friends. That's what I can say because always, my reference point is my own experience. सबका सुनना अपना करना सबका सुनना अपना करना listen to everyone, take their knowledge, but only test it like a gold merchant through your own experience. If it really passes through the litmus test, then only take it as a truth. We should not blindly follow anything. We should be like a spiritual scientist, open minded to investigate. Before we discard something as false, we need to also investigate with open mind. So, we talked about these two things now. You are Shiva Tattva, you are an energy being. Through meditation, you increase your energy quotient. There's no limits to your energy quotient. For example, we have energy levels of 10% right now. You can always increase it to 50%, 60%, 100%. Conserve the energy and awaken the your own potential energy which is inside you. And you have Vishnu Tattva, you are the consciousness being, non-local, non-linear. You can be anywhere in deep meditations. You can journey to any space, any time, anywhere, any when. That means you can be there in the faraway galaxy, you can be there in a different dimension, different reality systems to explore, to find out many things. Because you are not limited by this body. You can be any way, any when. That means you can do travel through the time, into past, through different yugas. Maybe you want to explore pre-Atlantean time, pre-Lemurian times, or the very origins of the human history. You want to understand more. Do these explorations through the consciousness which can travel beyond. We are beyond body, mind, beyond time, space beings. That is the truth, dear friends. And the third one I want to emphasize in this particular topic is know thyself as a wise being, wisdom being. Most of the times, we think that we don't know. That's okay. That's a good thing. More we know, more we think that I don't know anything. First time when I read Bhagavad Gita, I was crying, the tears of joy. I felt like a child. So far, I thought I know. So far, I thought after reading a few of the Carlos Castaneda and Jane Roberts Seth books and some of the spiritual scientist books, I thought, oh, I know many things. But after reading Bhagavad Gita, I felt so humbled. After reading Upanishads, my completely I reached to I don't know state. I don't know anything. It's okay to feel that way because we feel so humbled by the divine wisdom that's already there. But that I don't know state, when our ego is completely humbled, we open the doors of inner wisdom. Intrinsically, in our inner being, there is inner wisdom which will be awakened. Dear friends, we don't need to really think in this way. Learning is not something you are learning new things. Learning is remembering what you have already known, you have only forgotten. We have forgotten that we are already enlightened beings. We have forgotten that you are energy being. You have forgotten that you are consciousness being. You have forgotten that you are the eternal, immortal, infinite soul. You have forgotten that you are the universe itself. But we remember during deep meditation states, we remember what we have forgotten. This is called awakening of the inner wisdom. So, this Quantum Life University that is being established here in South India, in Telangana, in Hyderabad, near Vikarabad, Quantum Life University campus, the slogan is awakening the wisdom within. We don't say it's a learning process at all because really it's not learning something new. It's remembering who you truly are. That's called wisdom. It's the wisdom of the soul, wisdom of the oversoul. It's like a seed, friends. It's like a seed wisdom which has all that uh, in a kind of small seed form. It really opens itself. Like you can see this analogy, this metaphor of our crown, this energy center, where it is like a lotus bud. When this lotus bud is opening, all its petals, thousand petals, each petal represents a certain wisdom, which you are remembering. You are remembering thousands of petals, means multi-dimensional nature of your soul, and you really know who you truly are. So you'll come to know about that. Richard Bach said in the book Illusions, mark of your ignorance is the depth of your belief in injustice and tragedy. More ignorant we are, more suffering and tragedy that we experience in our lives. Our ignorance is directly proportional to suffering. Our enlightenment, our wisdom of the soul that is awakened, that is remembered by you, is directly proportional to enjoyment, the joy that you experience. So, friends, it's such a beautiful piece of wisdom that's shared by Richard Bach, my spiritual hero. I always have such deep respect, reverence for his wisdom. So, these three things are very, very important. Know thyself as number one, as energy being. Know thyself as consciousness being. Know thyself as a wise being. That means the first one is know thyself as energy being. Your Shiva Tattva means you become a meditator. Through meditation, you awaken the energy which is already there in you, the Parvati energy which rises in you. The Kundalini Mata is the Parvati energy. And the second, know thyself as consciousness being, you are the Vishnu Tattva, which is non-local, non-linear consciousness of you, which is awakened, vast, expansive, unlimited. And that Vishnu Tattva with Lakshmi Mata, which is so abundant, so much vast, which is like a big ocean. In deep meditation, this experience also comes to us. And the third one is know thyself as a wise being, wisdom being. You are a Gyan Swarupini. You're already wise being. Only thing is you've forgotten, now you remember. That means it's called Brahma Tattva. Brahma, he is known as Chaturmukhena Brahma, with who carries these Vedas in his hands, four hands he had, and also Saraswati Mata is the consort. Saraswati Mata is the wife of Brahma. That Brahma Tattva is nothing but uh, our wisdom of the soul. The Saraswati Mata is Gyan Swarupam, our wisdom. Brahma with Saraswati. Yes, that is the our own awakened wisdom. This happens in deep meditation, friends. So, what next? After realizing, know thyself as energy, consciousness, and wisdom, ECW, you know who you are. Now, what we need to do is live that wisdom in the physical dimension, three-dimensional reality. For example, in this scenario, particular times of coronavirus, this pandemic, and everyone is gripped with the fear, and Buddha's wisdom. Buddha has such wisdom, such simplicity, and he said, one can follow the middle path. The wisdom says always, the awakened wisdom, in the middle path, we always balance everything. In the middle path, you are not going to the extremes. You're going to hold samsara and the nirvana, the matter and the spirituality, masculine and the feminine, the outer and the inner. The middle path, you know how much to eat and the right food, the right speech, how much to speak, how to speak, what not to speak, and what to speak. You know how to behave, what not to behave, how to behave. You know exactly the middle path. That middle path is the real key, friends, to live in this physical dimension with all that awakened wisdom within us. Buddha said, after realizing the Four Noble Truths, that there is suffering everywhere. There is cause for suffering. Cause for suffering is avidya, which is caused by clinging and craving, attachment, desire. And he also said, the way to remove avidya is the Eightfold Path. Eradicating this dukkha, suffering, is when we remove avidya. When you acquire this vidya, this soul's knowledge or wisdom, then this ignorance goes away, the suffering vanishes from your life. So, Buddha said about few things, friends, I want to share with all of you. He talked about something very beautiful called Eightfold Path that everyone can follow. He said, right views is called Samyak Ditti, Samyak Drishti in Sanskrit. In Pali language, Samma Ditti. That means there are wrong views, there are right views. For example, if you look at yourself, you think you are the body, you think you are the thoughts in your mind, you think you are a victim of coronavirus, you think you are the victim of life. That is a called wrong view. Wrong views always create suffering. It leads us to victim consciousness. The right views, always your mind opens. You find solutions always. There must be right perceptions, right views. This is called Samyak Drishti, Samyak Ditti. Then Buddha talked about Samyak Sankalpa, means right intentions. There are wrong intentions also. And for example, in Bharat Desh, we have certain mantras, they're called as right intentions. They're really beautiful. They're called Shanti mantras. All the Dasa Vidha Shanti mantras means there are 10 Shanti mantras. That means we wish good for the whole universe. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That's the right sankalpa. For example, Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnat Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vavishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. All these intentions are right intentions. For example, there are intentions which can be wrong. For example, you are jealous about someone. The two brothers, story of two brothers I will share. These two brothers are very jealous from childhood. So when they started growing up, they always were jealous. They thought, let's meditate and acquire some siddhis and powers and a lot of wealth because those divine beings, Brahma or Shiva, will appear and we can get some boons. So after sincerely practicing decades of meditation, one day Brahma is appearing to them, and the first brother asks the Brahma. Brahma says, "Oh, my dear, you are so sincere in meditation. What do you want? Ask me any boon, I will grant it." Because Brahma is always gives the boons. He grants everything. And this brother said, I don't want to ask first. I want to know what my brother has asked first. I want the double of it. Whatever my brother asks, I want exactly multiplied by 2 times because he's always jealous. So now Brahma said, I have not yet reached to your brother. Your brother is still in meditation. Then he said, first go to my brother. Whatever my brother asks, give me twice, multiply it by 2. And he goes to his brother now. Brahma goes to brother. And his brother asks now, this second brother, what did my first brother ask? He said, whatever you are going to ask, give me twice of that. And this fellow thought, he has wrong intentions. Oh, my brother, I could have asked wealth, diamonds, money, power, so many things, longevity, like living for 200 years and all that. But I don't want my brother to be benefited. He will get twice of benefit. If I ask wealth, he will get to twice of it. So let me ask. He asked Brahma, take away my right eye. Then he will lose 2 eyes also. So this moral of the story is wrong intentions. Never to have wrong intentions. Right intentions is samyak sankalpa. We must always wish for Loka Kalyan. Loka Kalyan is welfare of not only your own self and for your family, for your country. Always wish good for the whole world, our universe. That is called Samyak Sankalpa. This is the time, friends. It's so important. Collective intention. We must really wish good for everyone on this planet Earth. If other countries are suffering, that also pains us. Our good intentions can uplift them. Our vibrations can also help them. And the third thing Buddha insisted, told in the Eightfold Path is right action. This is called Samyak Karma. Samma Kammato means right karma, right action. There are wrong actions. You might say all the words which will hurt a human being. Your actions might hurt, your behaviors can hurt others. You are generating karmic energy. You can say the same thing in a different way, which can be very pleasing and helping and uplifting, friends. This is called non-violent communication. Any violence universe won't support. It generates karma. Violence generates karma. Buddha talked about right action. Take always right action. That means in this three-dimensional plane, there are actions which is against the dharma, anti-dharma. That means right karma is so important. And the next one is called samyak ajivo. That means right way of earning living, right livelihood, right livelihood. It's so important. For example, as a human being, we have these four purusharthas. One is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Everyone, this dharma, we know, means living a dharmic life, righteous life, and artha, economics, money. Most of us, for the earning money, we can sometimes earn money in a wrong way, harming others or affecting the lives of thousands of people. That is not a right way of earning living. On this planet Earth, for example, many factories, many industries are in making our ecosystem collapse. Our ecology is breaking down. The Earth planet, it's getting affected because many such factories releases pollutants. Then many things which are not earning our living in a right way. One time I visited country Vietnam. I have a lot of respect for this country, Vietnam. And I heard a story of a friend from a friend, Vietnamese friend, because I was giving a kind of workshop there about the abundance. He started about a dog meat restaurant. And when we process that information, because he was affected after starting that restaurant, everything is collapsing, he's going through a lot of turbulent times. I don't want to give all the details, but I'm giving a nutshell. Then that day I told there is a right way of earning living. Many lives of the dogs which were slaughtered, which was offered as food for all the teenagers, many young students, it's a fad, it's a fashion there, seems. They come and eat the dogs there, just like in China. But that day I told exactly the same, what Buddha told, right way of earning living. Why not convert that into a beautiful vegetarian Sakahara restaurant? A beautiful vegetarian restaurant. The recipes are so really wonderful, it can really generate a lot of income. The day we worked on this, and he felt happy about that information. Um, Later on, I received the feedback that he was able to implement it, that really he had taken the message properly, right way. So, right way of earning our livelihood, kidnapping or murdering or destroying others' lives or doing corruption. We know that many of the politicians they corrupt, they do a lot of corruptions. That's not right way of earning living. It's so important if we want to live life with peace on the planet Earth, right livelihood. Samyak Jivo, it is called as in Pali language. Then, right effort, whatever effort that's coming out any moment, it's called Samyak Vayamo. Any effort must be wholesome. Give yourself the best in every moment. One of the four agreements written by this book, Don Miguel Ruiz. I really love this book. Be impeccable with word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. The fourth one, he said, do your best. He also talking about this right effort, wholesome action, complete. Give your best in any moment. Don't do things half-heartedly. It's not going to help. Half-hearted ways will never help us. So, wholesome actions that brings the wholesome kinds of fruits, wholesome results. Then, right mindfulness, Buddha talked about this is called Samyak Sati. Samma Sati means right mindfulness. One sutra that Buddha delivered, it's called Satipatthana Sutra. The mindfulness practices that he talked about, awareness need to be cultivated constantly. Live moment by moment. What's happening in your body, what's happening in your head, what's happening while you're walking, sleeping, and opening the door. Mindfulness practice. We need to be very, very mindful. This is called Samyak Sati, right mindfulness. Mostly, we lack mindfulness. That's how most of the accidents happen. We fall down. Many mistakes we do because lack of awareness. We don't know the practice of mindfulness. And finally, Buddha talked about something very beautiful. This is called Samyak Samadhi. Samma Samadhi in Pali language. It means right meditation. Samadhi state can be always achieved through right meditation. Right meditation. So, for example, meditation, we talked a lot about it in the other episodes. Like, meditation is not creative visualization, meditation is not concentrating on outside things, meditation is not uh, visualizing a light inside you. Meditation is an empty mind. Buddha talked about it. He said, for achieving empty mind, shunya, thought-free state, quiet mind, observe your breathing. Simple practice, anapanasati meditation. So, dear friends, I really love what Buddha talked about, the right meditation, because there is a right key to stop this monkey mind, all the thoughts. To stop it, there is a key. The key is kept here. The God has kept the key here right in the nostrils. Your nose is very close to your head. By observing here what's happening, your mind becomes empty and totally free from thoughts. In the emptiness of the mind, you achieve what is called as many self realizations. You realize that you are energy being. You realize that you are consciousness being. You realize that you are a wise being, wisdom being. Know thyself as ECW. Know thyself as a God who has this omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent characteristics. We all have that, dear friends. So, I'm happy today to share with you this particular topic, which is so important at this moment. We still have some more time, like time for meditation, dear friends. I read a poem recently from one Brazilian author who is a poet from Brazil. Her name is Martha Postleve. I don't know how to spell Postleve. Martha Postleve. The poem is called as Clearing. I want you to sit in meditation as I read this poem for you. These are the real beautiful words of wisdom. And she has written this way: do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing space in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worth of rescue. So, dear friends, let's now close our eyes for some time. Sit in a comfortable posture. Observe your normal, natural breathing. Become aware of this body. Become aware of the sounds around you. And also pay attention, full attention to your breathing that's happening in your nostrils. The routine thoughts, they do come and go like clouds in the sky. Always come back to your breathing. With this practice of disidentifying with the mind, you can fully witness your breathing. There are certain changes that occurs in your breathing as you pause, as you stop the thoughts in the mind, as you experience deep stillness. It's so beautiful. As Mata Poslewe, this Brazilian poet, through this poem expressed beautifully, do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently. That means completely the dense forest with full of thoughts, clear that dense forest which is full of thoughts, full of chaos, and in that clearing, in that empty space, in the stillness, wait patiently. Witness what is happening when the mind is empty and silent until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to the world, to this world, so worth of rescue. Only in deep meditation you know what you want to share with the world, what service you want to give to the world. It always comes from a deeper space within you. Just be very totally still in your mind. Wait there patiently, clearing in the dense forest of your life all those clear, chaotic thoughts. Just be empty. Reach to a deeper place where there is no time and no space. In the deep emptiness, the mind, The deep place within you where you can tap into that inexhaustible energy, the source of energy. It is like a wellspring deep within you. From the deep place within you, you can understand your divine essence that you are consciousness, which is unlimited, unbounded, non linear, non local, beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond time and space. As you reach to the deeper place within you, you know that you are already a wise being. You have self awareness and self remembrance of who you are. Just be with your inner experience of your energy nature, inner experience of your consciousness, which is vast and expansive. Be with your experience of your own intrinsic, innate wisdom within you. Allow these unfolding insights from this deeper place. Just watch and observe for a few more moments. Just be, just be. Another 1 minute, my dear friends. All of us know that we are all part of the same consciousness. There is only one big ocean of consciousness. We call that as source, is holding all of us. We are non-separate unity beings. In this meditation that we are doing on this beautiful full moon night, full moon day, we receive this divine energies, this beautiful expanding consciousness, and allow the deeper insights to arise from deeper wisdom within you. We are all one. 30 seconds more. Just be. Another 10 seconds. Okay, my dear friends, whenever you are ready, by placing your hands on your eyes, touching your eyelids for a few seconds, can slowly bring your insights that you gained and experience that you felt and all the realizations you had into the waking state of awareness by opening your eyes. With joyful feeling, you can open your eyes. That's how we always come into the waking consciousness. It's really wonderful, dear friends. Even though it's a very, a little time we have done meditation, but it's worthwhile. Always whenever we do group meditation, it helps us. Today is special day because it's a full moon night. It starts from today, the vibrations of the full moon. It's a very important full moon for us. And even in the night, if you get an opportunity, meditate at least an hour or 2 hours today. Before we're going to take leave from each other, I want to share an experience that our Sangha member who had a beautiful experience, something that will help everyone at this point of time. It's a kind of channeling that happens. So in Life University campus, we have our Sangha members, and I requested Harika Suri to this master to conduct a beautiful kind of session to make uh, our Sangha member to go into an altered state of consciousness so that they can access higher beings, the wisdom of higher beings. So I'm going to read out this information here. This is a channeling session done by Muparna Saha. She's from Kolkata right now. She's a resident of Quantum Life University. She's staying in the campus. And this is how it goes. And Muparna, when she entered into a deep trance state, she started saying these words. We are all here today now, the entire force, the entire galactic nation. We're opening the portal now. Wow, it's beautiful energies now. And immediately, Miss Harika asked, thank you so much for coming here today. What do we call you? Then Muparna, in the deep trance, she answered, you can call me the Queen of Galactic Nation. My name is Masaya. You are safe here too with us. Don't feel scared. It's a huge energy field here now. All the divine beings of source energy is here now. Don't be scared of us. We are here to protect all of you. Mother Earth is here with us. We love her so much. Then Harika Suri asked, can you tell us what's happening on Mother Earth now? Because our intention here is to, through this channeling session, want to understand what is the views from the spirit world, from the point of view of the non-physical higher beings like extraterrestrial beings. What's happening to the Mother Earth now? Then Muparna Saha, in the deep trance, she said, we are here to protect Mother Earth. It's our long project that we have taken up. Protecting Mother Earth is our responsibility. Remember, my dear friends, these words are so important. Listen carefully. We are here to protect Mother Earth. It's our long project that we have taken up. Protecting Mother Earth is our responsibility. It is our freedom to protect Mother Earth. We love Mother Earth. We cannot let anything to happen to get to her. We are here to protect her. Nothing will happen to her. The entire force is here now. It's just a simple thing that's happening now. Don't be scared. We are watching over it. It is in our hands now. It is not in the hands of humans anymore. We, the forces of Galactic Federation communities, all the beings, oh my friends, are here now. Mother Earth is safe. From now on, nothing will happen here anymore. It is the vibration that's changing. We are changing the frequency. Now we are changing the frequency of the system, this entire system. Now, let us do this now. Sending beautiful energies to the earth. We are setting the energies now, changing the frequencies now. It's falling into place. Everything is falling into place. I love you. We don't need to go through any pains anymore, no sufferings. We should have come here long before. We were not invited here. We know how to protect Mother Earth. We have been doing this since a long, long time. Nothing can change it. We love Gaia, Mother Earth. She is our divine mother, the source of all mothers. Do you understand what we are saying to you? What we are trying to say? Respect the earth. Take responsibility of all of you. We all have a very different role to play here on this Mother Earth. We don't need to fight among them ourselves. It's a joint venture. We need to understand what we all are going through now. It is safe now. We are setting in the frequencies of Mother Earth. We love this planet. It is our planet now. We want the human evolution to evolve just like us. We are very, very, very evolved beings from a very different star. It's a galactic nation star. We love to come here on this planet every time, wherever we are called. Today, Newton has called us this time. Then she continued with her in the trance state. Don't try to find anything, just be yourself. Don't use your brain anymore. There's nothing to learn or anything. Just be yourself. Every human being, they have to act from their true self, that God self. There's nothing to learn much. Non-learning period is over now. Now it's time to take actions. We love to take actions. We are very action-oriented beings. We have been hiding planet Earth since long, long time. We know the guidelines. It's very divine planet. Messiah has been sent on this planet with our permission. She's our representative. Always know that. Be with her. Take care of her. She is there to take care of all of you. She is the divine queen of our nation. We respect her like Mother Earth. So it continued where they said about several messages that how human beings now need to plunge into action. Action means right now, what we need to do is changing our vibrations. So far, we lived in a very stereotypic old ways, but now, staying at home will not move out of home. This lockdown period we need to respect. This is the decision, collective decision, not only just authorities and governments, but it is the decision by the Galactic Federation, my dear friends. This is an opportunity to actually to go within and meditate. We have to be silent and meditate. And what a beautiful message. The earth is moving through a kind of shift. There is a shift now on our planet Earth that's happening, and not only human beings, we are all part of this venture. It's a joint venture. They're saying that there are many collective beings like Arcturians, Syrians, and Pleiadians, and many other beings also participating in this because our Mother Gaia is the most important in this entire universe because Earth is a very, very important place. So, dear friends, every day, whenever we have this Sajjana Sangacha satsangs, I want to read out few experiences of all of you. If you have any experiences of this kind to share, please send an email to us. I'm going to share with all because that will help everyone. The email that need to be sent is your experience. In meditation it might have happened or a dream experience but which you want to really share, which is really worth sharing. That means there is some kind of insights which can help many people. Info at qluglobal.org. That's the email ID. And or else you can send the email also from the website in www.qluglobal.org. QLU means Quantum Life University, global.org. So you can send the email. Any questions you have, you can also ask friends. Here our team members, Sangha members, Quantum Life University, they posted the email and the website. You can read it here. So it's much easy through Google search. We say immediately we can access that information. So I really look forward for more interactions with you, dear friends. So all of you, like Yoshita, Swaroop, Joy, thank you, Dr. New. So beautiful to be together with you. I didn't know that it was a full moon. That's really interesting. Thank you, Yoshita, joining. Prakriti Jain, Nandita ji, Nitin, Komana, and Sunita Kedia, Gaurav Gupta, and there's so many. Pawan, our Sangha member, who joined. My mother also is actually watching. Her name is Radha Kondaveti, so she's also here, and it's really good that my mother is also participating with you. So, dear friends, it's really beautiful to interact with all of you. And we are going to have the next episode day after tomorrow in English. So, we're going to meet for the next episode, episode 6. So, episode 7. Today is episode 6. So, the topic will be announced because we are also selecting the topic based on what are the requests that's coming to us. And Harika Suri is coordinating with everyone about gathering what is the interesting topic or important topic for majority of the people. So you check our Facebook page, or I think that's the way to know about the topic. And tomorrow I'll be there the same time, 5 to 7 in the my mother tongue Telugu language. There will be uh, an episode that will going to be streamed, live streaming done tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dear friends. I wish you great evening, great meditation, and we meet again. Thank you.